Welcome to this conversation on a case that's shaking up the global stage, a former head of state facing accountability. We're talking about the arrest of former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte.
Yep, absolutely. So, tell me, what exactly went down at Manila's Ninoy Aquino International Airport?
Well, on March 11th, 2025, Duterte was arrested as he landed after a return trip from Hong Kong. This wasn't just any arrest. It was executed under an international warrant from the ICC, charged with crimes against humanity.
That's significant.
Right, and let's break that down. His controversial anti-drug campaign, which spanned both his time as mayor in Davao City and later as president, has been linked to widespread extrajudicial killings. Official stats say over 6,000 deaths, but some human rights groups estimate up to 30,000.
Yeah, that's a huge discrepancy. That's almost like comparing an iceberg's tip to the whole submerged mass, isn't it?
Exactly, it's like the official numbers barely scratch the surface, while the real extent of the tragedy might be much larger.
Yeah, indeed. And what about the charges themselves? How are they framing this entire case?
The ICC has laid out some heavy allegations: systemic murder, torture, and other inhumane acts, classifying these as crimes against humanity. And what's really interesting is that even though the Philippines pulled out of the ICC in 2019, the court retains jurisdiction over actions committed before that exit.
That's a clever legal twist. But isn't it a bit ironic that despite the withdrawal, accountability still comes knocking? I mean, doesn't that in part challenge the motivation behind the withdrawal?
That's a solid point, but it also underscores that justice, especially on a global scale, doesn't let political maneuvers or legal technicalities get in the way of accountability.
Right? It's like a safety net that just won't let go. And then there's the political fallout, which seems even more complex. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. confirmed the arrest and transfer, right?
Yes, and that adds another dramatic layer. Marcos Jr.'s confirmation shows that even the local political establishment is aligned with international legal processes. Plus, there's the interesting twist of Duterte's daughter, Vice President Sara Duterte, being seen at a campaign rally in Hong Kong shortly before the arrest, raising questions about the political future of dynastic power in the Philippines.
Talk about a mix of family dynamics and politics. It's like every angle you look at it, there's a deeper story behind the headlines.
Absolutely. And reactions have been pretty polarizing. On one side, human rights groups call this a historic step toward ending impunity. On the other, Duterte's supporters are quick to label the arrest as unlawful and question the
Yeah, that
ICC's
split
reach.
really highlights the global debate on justice. So, what comes next for Duterte then?
Now he's in The Hague, gearing up for trial. If convicted, he might be one of the very first Asian leaders to face such serious charges on an international stage, a real milestone for global law enforcement.
Yep, that's a landmark moment. But don't you think the trial itself might be as contentious as the arrest? International law proceedings tend to be, well, slow and complex.
I agree. It's going to test both the rigidity and the fairness of international law. While many see it as hope for some overdue justice, others worry about potential delays and political undercurrents influencing the process.
It's a high stakes balancing act for sure. Ultimately, this case isn't just about Duterte individually. It signals how global accountability is evolving, making it clear that no matter how powerful, leaders can't simply escape their past actions.
Exactly. It's a pivotal moment that may very well redefine the intersection of power, politics, and international justice for years to come.
Right, that's something we'll certainly be watching closely.